shoulder that not only were they concerned about, but other teams were concerned about. Ground ball up the middle, and that'll roll into center field. India goes to second and stops there as Carter gets it back. Going into the draft, there was some concern that didn't line up with the type of numbers that Rocker was putting up in college, but once the Mets got a closer look at his shoulder, it was a offer. So Rocker didn't end up, and that was enough for the Rangers to be satisfied, and they took him with the 3rd overall pick. Line to the gap in left center field, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. And with India and Junior on the bases, that's an easy 2-run double for Vinny Pasquantino.
Well, that is exactly the kind of swing you hope to see from Vinny Pasquantino in spring training. Driving the ball the other way. He's got opposite field power. We haven't seen it a ton in a game. In fact, Vinny days ago, well, that's a line drive straight into the left center field gap. That's exactly what you want to see. A little more loft, and well, that goes out.
For Michael Massey, and Rocker's pitch is swung on. He was jammed, but he's going to drop it into right field for a hit. Vinny will hold it third. And Massey, I mentioned he got was at least get Vinny from second to third base. So he probably didn't swing at the best pitch if he wanted to drive the ball, but it was close enough for him to at least get the ball on the ground to the. Here's the 3-1 to Prado, and he'll swing and he'll line it to the gap in left center field, and that will be down and go to the wall. Pasquantino scores. Massey rounds third. He will score. Prado has in the first inning.
It was almost a carbon copy of the ball that Vinny hit into the gap. Prado's had a little bit more air underneath it, but I mean, Ryan, you want to talk about a guy who's in the midst of a pivotal spring training. Look no further than Nick seeing a lot more time in the outfield. The Royals are seeing if that's a position that he can handle, and if the bat can play as well, then maybe there is a spot on this roster for Prado, because it's either make the opening day roster or he'll be elsewhere. So that's a pretty good sign for Prado.
And we love supporting each other. There's a lot to love about Kansas City. And at Price Chopper, we love serving you. Thank you, Kansas City, for always having a place for us at your table.
Hi, Royals fans. This is J.J. Piccolo. The University of Kansas Health System is the official healthcare provider of the Kansas City Royals, and they're committed to caring for you with the same experts that work with our players.
To the gap, and deep, and carrying, gone!
Whether you're a pro in the field, just learning the game, or happy to remain a fan, get the major league care you deserve at kansashealthsystem.com/Royals.
Here's the 2-2 swing and a high fly ball left field. The ball will carry. Massey is back. He's on the track. He's running along the warning track now, and he makes the catch. So Massey on the second chance out there had to adjust, and the way he adjusted would tell me that he lost the ball briefly, but his technique was good, and his first 2 chances in the bottom of the first inning result in 4 hits in his inning, and a 2-run double to Pasquantino and a 2-run double to Prado. And now a fly ball is hit to deep left field. Haggerty turns and watches it hit the back wall, goes deep to left. And the Royals lead 5-0 in the second inning.
It's starting to become an annual thing for Tyler Tolbert highlights during Cactus League play. And we know what he's capable of doing on the base paths. And we've seen his versatility defensively, middle infield, and also in the outfield. But if the bat can do that too, well, that raises an eyebrow to another level.
India was hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. And now he's jammed, and he drops it into shallow center field right in front of Carter. India with Bobby Witt Jr. coming up. The Royals already have 5 runs on 6 hits, and there is nobody out in the second inning. One could hear all the conversations going on in the crowd, whether that should have been a strike or not. Ground ball, base hit center field. Vinny Pasquantino is on, and Jonathan India is going to go first to third. So Vinny is 2 for 2. He had a 2-run double, and the Royals have runners at first and third, 1 out for Massey.
What's been interesting to observe about the ABS so far, when it's been a veteran catcher or.
Here's the 1-1. Massey swings and nuts it up the right field line, hooking and caught in foul ground by Taveras. Will score, and I believe they called that a foul sacrifice fly. And the Royals lead 6-0 in the second inning. That's the second time that Massey's had a productive at end. With 2 down, Vinny's at first base for Michael Garcia. And Michael swings and hits it hard to the right side and past the second baseman Simeon. Vinny jogs in and stops at second base. And Garcia's 1 for 2. That's the swing I remember from his rookie year.
When he hit over 300. The month of May of 2023, that's when we were all thinking, oh, the Royals have their leadoff hitter for the foreseeable future. And unfortunately, Michael.
A big leaguer. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. And a bases loaded walk gives Prado 3 RBIs and a 7-0 Royals lead in the second inning. And here comes Bruce Bochy to make the very rare in-inning spring training pitching change. Bonin jogs in from the right field bullpen with the Royals leading.
Plate tap in his head.
Swing and a miss. Haggerty is down on strikes, and there's 2 away, and that's Lugo's first strikeout.
And it's not surprising that if there's a pitcher that would have challenged one of the calls, because usually it's the catcher or the hitter. The vast majority of the time. That's what we've heard from AAA and the minors.
Which can be dangerous. It's funny when nobody gets hurt, but it can be dangerous. Simeon swings and misses and strikes out. So Lugo strikes out the next 2 after the Taveras home run. And the Taveras home run drove in 3. So now at the end of 2, it's the Royals 7. When you can have good chemistry and winning, well, you've got something. And the Royals have something in India. He lines a base hit to left field. So he's been on 1-on-1 out for Bobby Witt Jr. After we pause for station identification on the Royals Baseball Network.